Today is Remembrance Day, a day when we celebrate and commemorate the laying down of arms at the end of World War One. It is also the day when we remember and honor the sacrifice of the thousands and thousands of military men and women who laid down their lives in that terrible global conflict and every other battle that has occurred between then and now and is still going on in many parts of the world. Our hearts go out to the families they have left behind, and we pray that their sacrifice will not be in vain. Of note, I want to particularly call to mind two soldiers today. One you may never have heard of, but the second I am sure you are quite familiar with. The first soldier was a man of Roman origin and was reportedly at the crucifixion scene described in the Bible. Now, not much is written about him before or after those brief moments captured for us, but two things about him are certain. One is that he must have been a man of great courage, to have stood out amongst his colleagues and comrades as they watched the man hanging on the cross, who at that moment represented everything that the Roman Empire hated. He was being put to death in the worst possible way as a deterrent. That kind of death was reserved for the worst offenders, the worst criminals. And for this soldier, who was reported to be a centurion, so he was a high-ranking officer, to have spoken of that man and said, "This truly was the Son of God," it must have taken great courage. The second thing that is certain about this soldier is that he was never the same after those moments. After saying those words, it's clear that he became a man of conviction, a man of purpose. And whatever battles he must have fought after then, or the way he even went back home to his family, if he had one, was definitely not the same way he started that day. The second soldier I want to talk about is you. Yes, from the very moment you and I are born, we are thrust into this war called life. And whether we choose it or not, we immediately begin to fight the battle for survival. We begin to fight the battle against sickness. We begin to fight the battle against hunger. We begin to fight the battle against neglect and the desire for attention. And as we grow older, the battles begin to change. We begin to fight against things like bullying. We fight the battle of growth, the battle of self-discovery and self-awareness. And the older we grow, the battles also still continue to change and sometimes become more internal. We begin to fight things like self-doubt and self-discovery at a different level. We begin to fight the fight of our careers. We begin to fight for financial independence. We begin to fight the fight of self-actualization. We begin to fight against bad habits. We begin to fight against depression, fight against anxiety. We begin the battle to discover and express the better version of ourselves that we know lies somewhere deep within but somehow cannot seem to let out. And the battles never stop, back to back to back. And sometimes it becomes really tiring. Sometimes it becomes wearying. Sometimes you just simply don't think you have it in you to continue. Sometimes you just want to give up. And sadly, many of us do. We give up on our lives, we give up on our families, give up on our careers, we give up on ourselves. Today, as we remember the thousands and thousands of men and women who didn't give up but persevered, sometimes to the bitter end. Some of them weren't even willing soldiers. Some of them were drafted against their wish and desire into the army. But these men and women persevered, paying the ultimate price. I want you to be encouraged today that sometimes the biggest weapon at your disposal is not necessarily the one you carry in your hands, but it's the conviction and the purpose that you carry in your heart. And like that Roman soldier, you can look to Jesus today and ask him to give you a fresh reason to live, a fresh purpose, a fresh conviction, a fresh drive that will push you from where you are to the next place you want to be. And in the same way that Jesus called a bunch of illiterate, unknown, raggedy fishermen, tax collectors, and touts, and made them a simple offer saying, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And now, centuries later, we're still talking about the deeds that those men went on to achieve. And the same offer is being made to you today. Jesus says, "Come, and I will give you rest. So as we celebrate the laying down of arms today, you might want to lay down your defenses and allow him to teach you a new way of fighting. He says, my yoke is lighter than yours. My burden is easier than the one you are carrying. And if you would like to do that, simply send remembrance to the number on your screen right now, and you'll receive all the information that you need on how to take this decision that will change your life forever. Happy Remembrance Day, and God bless you.